Hey guys, so I basically filmed this entire video before realizing that from here up my entire head was cut off and it just looked really dumb. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna have to redo this. But anyways, today I'm going to be filming my, well not filming, today I'm going to be showing you my February wrap up and my March TBR, and I finally got that right, yeah. So, I read a total of 9 books. I can't lift this, oh god, it's so heavy. Oh, don't fall. It's gonna fall. 9 books in February. They're all right here. So the first book I read was Maria Semple's Where'd You Go, Bernadette? And this book is basically about a 15-year-old girl named Bee who has claimed a trip to Antarctica as a reward for her good grades. However, before that trip can happen, her mother Bernadette disappears, and this book basically follows Bee's journey to find out where her mother has gone and to, get her mom back. And a really interesting thing about this book is that it's primarily written through emails, notes, correspondences, between people. I would give this a 5 out of 5. Next, I have David Sedaris' Me Talk Pretty One Day, and I read this at the very beginning of the month. And this is basically a memoir of his childhood in North Carolina and then moving on to his adult life in New York City, and a lot of it is very crass humor, but it's good crass humor. It's humor that you will enjoy and appreciate. I'd give this a 5 out of 5 because it was just absolutely hilarious. Next I have Brando Skyhorse's The Madonnas of Echo Park. I keep flipping the book up, wow. This book is told through alternating first-person points of view, and it goes through several different characters. No character's point of view is repeated, and you basically see as the book goes on how their stories tie into one another, so how each character is related to the other. It is about the experience of both Mexican Americans and Mexican immigrants in the United States. It takes place in Los Angeles' Echo Park neighborhood. I would give this one a 5 out of 5 as well. I just really, really loved it. Okay, the next book is one that I should have read a very, 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 very long time ago. I have no excuse. It is John Green's The Fault in Our Stars, and I cried like a little baby, as I expected. And I know a lot of people get annoyed that this book was so hyped up, but I honestly felt it deserved every ounce of hype. I thought it was so cute and sad and funny, and I came out of the experience a different person, and now I can't wait to see the movie, and I'm gonna cry during the movie. Ugh, Augustus! Okay, next I have Mark Haddon's The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. Oh, by the way, I give The Fault in Our Stars a 1 million trillion out of 5. I mean, yeah. Mark Haddon's The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. It is about 15-year-old Christopher who finds his neighbor's dog lying dead one night, and he decides to go on a journey to find out what has happened or who killed this dog. Now, Christopher is autistic, and the book is told through his first-person point of view. I found Christopher to just be such an interesting character. He's honestly one of my favorite main characters ever. I just loved him. And yeah, I'd give this book a 5 out of 5. Next I have Justin Torres's We the Animals. It is told again through first-person point of view, and it basically follows the experiences of 3 brothers as they grow up with their mother and father. They're not necessarily the wealthiest. Their father is at times abusive, and it is told exclusively through the point of view of one of the brothers, who I believe he's the youngest. And then it flashes forward to them as adults. I'd give this a 4.5 out of 5. I guess because I couldn't necessarily always relate to the experiences they were having, but other than that, it was a really quick read. It was fast-paced, and it was really good. It was heart-wrenching and funny and sweet and upsetting all at the same time. I also read Rainbow Rowell's Eleanor in Park. Oh, God. I love this book so much. So much. This book is about Eleanor in Park, That was dumb. They're 16. They live in Midwestern America, I believe. Midwest? Yeah, I believe they live in the Midwest. This book basically goes through their experiences from the day they meet until a certain point in time, and it covers the course of about 1 year. And it's interesting to see, you know, because they don't like each other at first, but you see how that kind of evolves into they fall in love with each other, as it says. I didn't spoil anything because it literally says that right here on the flap. If you can see, it literally says that, so I spoiled nothing. 5 out of 5. Laura Buzo's Love and Other Perishable Items, and this is another one that, oh god, it was so good. I did a review on this one, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically it is about 15-year-old Amelia who gets her first job at a supermarket, and her relationship with her 21-year-old coworker named Chris, and basically over the course of a certain amount of time how they, you know, I guess how they see each other and how that changes and how they interact with one another. And it was so cute and I loved it and I related to this book so well. And if you guys want to check out my review, I will post the link down below in the down bar. 5 out of 5 again. Okay, the last book I read this month was Mike Gale's The Stag and Hen Weekend. And Hen Weekend. There's like a D somewhere that like shouldn't. Like, it is basically 2 novels in one. So one side is The Stag Weekend of The Stag and Hen Weekend, and then the other side, if you flip it over, is the Hen Weekend of The Stag and Hen Weekend. Okay, so my camera basically just died, so if like anything looks different, then yeah, that's why I had to charge it for a little bit. I'm like, just ran up the stairs. It is, I guess, a kind of tradition. For the weekend before you get married in England, you go on either a stag weekend or a hen weekend, depending on if you're a man or a woman. If you're a guy, you go on a stag weekend, and if you are a girl, you go on a hen weekend. So this book follows Helen's hen weekend and Phil's stag weekend. So I really enjoyed it. Some of it wasn't too relatable for me because, you know, being 17, I obviously am not married or am not engaged. So I haven't had some of these experiences, but it was still really enjoyable, and I'd give it a 4 out of 5. Now I'm going to share with you guys the books that I am planning on reading in March. So the first 3 are part of a series, and that is Michael Grant's Gone series, and I read Gone like at the beginning of this month and the end of last month, so it's kind of like hanging in limbo, so it couldn't really be like in either video, but I'll put it in my March wrap-up. So I'm going to be reading the next 3 in the series, which are Hunger, and I'm already like kind of almost halfway through, Lies, and Plague, which is number 4. And I'm going to try and get Fear and Light. So yeah, hopefully I will have the entire series. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's really interesting. I did a review on Goodreads of Gone. If you guys want to go check that out, I will link that down below in the down bar so you guys can see that. I am also planning on rereading The Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake by Amy Bender. I read this last summer and it was really good, and I saw it and I just decided to pick it up because, you know, I really, really enjoyed this book. It is about a girl named Rose who discovers that she can taste people's emotions through the food they cook. And through that, she learns a lot about her family that she wouldn't have necessarily known before. Next, I have Michael Chabon, something? The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay. And this is about Joe Cavalier, who moves from Prague to New York City to escape the Nazis, and there he meets up with his cousin Sammy Clay, so Cavalier and Clay are their last names, and they, I guess, decide to illustrate a comic book together. Won the Pulitzer Prize, so I mean it's gotta be good. And then finally I have Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick. Queen, I love you, Jennifer Lawrence. I love you so much. She's like... Okay guys, so that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you later. Bye. Oh my god, there's so many books.